dawn at the end of days. The first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity.
Hey everyone, so what do we have here? Yes, a review for Diablo 3. I've been wanting to do this, but first I just want to clear up a few things. So, I bought this game when it came out, okay? I bought it at midnight on May 15th when it came out, but I didn't play it for the first 2 weeks I had it. One, because I didn't have an actual PC I felt like playing it on, although that kind of became irrelevant later, just because I kind of got bored and started it on my laptop about 2 weeks later. I was really wanting to play it on a gaming PC, but I had to get mine later. So, yeah, enough of that. Max Payne 3 was also another reason, and probably the third reason for me not playing it for a while was just because I didn't want to deal with all the crap going on Battle.net with their Air 37s and all that other stuff. Now, I felt a little underqualified to tackle this review. The reason why is because I'm not a hardcore Diablo player at all. I played Diablo 1 for less than 5 hours, and I played a demo of Diablo 2. And I'm pretty much a Diablo virgin. Going into this game, this is my first actual Diablo experience. Although I really liked it, my first actual one. So, just saying, I will not be comparing this game to Diablo 1 or 2. I'm going to be reviewing this game by itself, which hopefully some people want to be looking forward to. Now, hopefully I can, use this to help out either newcomers or casual gamers, help out with that perspective. But let's get into this. I did beat the game in 22 hours and 5 minutes on normal difficulty with a level 31 Witch Doctor. If you see just on here that the game looks way too easy for your tastes, that's because I recorded this footage starting over from the beginning with a level 31 instead of a level 1. So you'll have to kill enemies with 5 hits instead of killing 20 enemies with 1 hit like I do on here. One more thing footage-wise is that I normally run this game at above 100 frames a second. However, because of fraps, I was running this at a locked rate of 30 frames a second. The reason why is because this video is intended for YouTube, and YouTube automatically truncates all of their frames per second videos to 30. So if you have a 60 frame a second video, it's going to go down to 30. That's just how YouTube works, so that's why I recorded in 30 frames a second. But let's get into this review. So the story is that Diablo is coming back. He and 6 other prime evils are just huge evil beings that you have to face. You don't face all of them, but you do have to face them just to make sure, hell and heaven don't get into a huge fight, and the world isn't destroyed and all that. One of those typical stories, which is why I'm doing a bad job explaining it, because it's nothing real original, honestly. You yourself are a person who has been exiled from your hometown or your village, and you stumble across a village where a star has suddenly fallen. You have to find out what this star is, what the blast is, and you do find out that it is actually a man. Now, I'm not going to reveal anything later on that, and this video does not have footage revealing anything on that part. What's good about this is that even though it is the third game in a trilogy, I really didn't feel like I had to play the first 2 games to understand. I felt the gameplay was fine. I didn't feel like I was missing anything on the storyline. If you really want to check up on it and you don't want to play the first 2 games, you could always look it up on Wikipedia or anything like that. Now, this game does have cutscenes, but what I didn't really like about them is that there is very obvious artifacting on there. The quality is just poor. It looks like it was rendered improperly, and I'm not trying to bash on the game by any means, don't get me wrong, but I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. And I've seen, it's so it's upsetting, I guess, when I see a game that's been worked on for so long and then the cutscenes just have obvious artifacting and there's just all these other features in there. And really what I didn't like was that the cutscenes almost kind of pull you away from the moments you have in the game, because you're just playing the game and all of a sudden it will freeze for like 2 seconds and a cutscene pops up. Now there's not a cutscene every 5 minutes, but it is kind of an interruption almost when a cutscene comes up. However, the cutscenes themselves do get better about halfway through the game. That's when I actually started to care more about the story, because this is not a game you really play for the storyline. I mean, it's there, but it's really the gameplay that you're there for. Now let's get into the gameplay. So if you can see right here, it is point and click dungeon crawler style. And this is definitely not for everyone. I was actually showing a few friends that came over, I was showing them the game. One of them was really into it, and then the other one, she was just telling me, she's like, well, you know, I don't like point and clicks that much. And I was kind of trying to explain, it's like, it's not an actual point and click like Monkey Island. I mean, that's a true point and click game. This is just, I mean, yes, you point, you click, but it's kind of like RTS almost. And not really RTS, that's kind of like Warcraft, anything like that. But it's a dungeon crawler is what it's supposed to be described as. And she said that she used to like the Diablo series, then she kind of got out of it. But this is really not for everyone. But for the people who do enjoy it, trust me, this game gets very addictive. For a few days, I kind of put my social life on hold. I'm not very proud of that, but I mean, that's what happened. And fun fact, I was late to work for the first time ever because of this game. Because Mario thought it would be fine to stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning when he had to wake up at 7 in the morning, because I normally don't have issues waking up, but I ended up sleeping in like an hour and a half later and I had to go into work late. So, moral of the story, I mean, if you have an important job you need to go to, thankfully I was able to get away with it, but if you have an important job you need to go to, yeah, I don't know, just get this under control. Just make sure you don't do what I did, because that'd be a very stupid decision. Moving on from that though, there are 4 modes of difficulty on here. You got normal, which is the one that you start out with, nightmare, hell, and inferno. Now you cannot stack the difficulties. In order to unlock one difficulty, you have to play through the lower one. So me beating on normal unlocked nightmare, which I probably won't be tackling. There's also hardcore mode, which you can unlock once you're level 10, I believe. Hardcore mode is, once you're dead, you're dead. So you die once and you're dead. So it is a fun challenge, but I don't know, maybe everyone won't understand it. It's kind of like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, you know. People get pissed off because the games are so hard, but they don't understand that's the whole point of the game, just to have a challenge. Most hardcore Diablo fans absolutely love hardcore mode, and that's one of their favorites. And they don't mind dying, but that's one of their favorite modes. Now, what I've noticed is, of course, you know, many Diablo 2 veterans are complaining about this game, saying this isn't as good, this isn't as good, that isn't as good, and there are some complaints I have just as a standalone player, but you gotta realize, the other day I found a forum post, and I will link it, but I found a forum post from 12 years ago where people were complaining about the exact same thing, saying that Diablo 2 was terrible and not nearly as good as the first Diablo. And now, I mean, we think about that, and Diablo 2 is just praised all the time, and you think that would just be kind of unreal. But the thing you have to realize is that Blizzard has plenty of time to patch this game. Blizzard cannot release a perfected game on release day. No, they have to release patches. Diablo 2 would not be anywhere where it is right now if it didn't have 12 years worth of patches on top of it. Now, one thing I absolutely just did not like about the gameplay, and yes, I'm incorporating this into the gameplay because it is very annoying. You have to always be connected to Battle.net. There is absolutely no way you can play this game offline. So for all you guys trying to look for a cracked version, just go out and support the developer and buy the damn game, okay? Because you're not going to be getting a crack anytime soon. Pretty much the way it's set up is that the quests and all that other stuff are set up on Blizzard servers, and you have to be connected. So like me, I played the game solo the whole time from beginning to end. I have one person on my Battle.net friends list. I wasn't playing with anyone, I wasn't co-oping with anyone, but if my connection dropped, all my stuff was gone. If I had a bad connection one night, I would get connection lag within my single player game. How does that make any sense? That's not how it's supposed to be. And with dropped connections, trust me, it is so frustrating when you have to do like 5 things and you just finish the 4th thing and then you lose your connection for about 2 seconds and all that is gone. All that progress is gone. I was playing on normal and I was annoyed with that. But imagine if you're playing on Hell or Inferno difficulties, and those are much harder than they sound, trust me on that. Now, let's check out the graphics. I mean, you can look right here, there's not too much to say about them. And I don't know, if you're a Call of Duty fanboy who doesn't know anything outside of first-person shooters, probably the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is, these graphics look like shit, who would play this game? And unfortunately, that is what some people said. On Metacritic, many people gave this game bad reviews when it first came out, and I kid you not, some of the reviews, people were saying that the graphics look terrible, and it's not a shooter and it doesn't have guns. People were saying that. If you say that, this isn't the game for you. I mean, the people who bash on the graphics for Diablo 3 are the people who do not understand the game type that it is. This is a game that it really doesn't matter what type of graphics there are. I mean, you know, 2012, there are still people who are playing Diablo 2, who are still playing the first Diablo, who are still playing Counter-Strike 1.6. I mean, yes, it's nice to have good graphics, but don't expect anything Crisis level on Diablo 3 of all games. I felt it ran very nicely on my computer, and I thought the game looked good. And the cool thing is that this game can pretty much run on any computer. I was running it on my laptop, I was running it on a MacBook Air, I've tried it on a few other computers. Now yes, you might have to change it down to low FX mode on some points, but you know, the game pretty much runs on anything, which is what I like about it. And I think here, it even looks good. To me, I think it looks good. Again, I said, it's nothing Crisis level or anything. I'm not looking for shooter type graphics, but this isn't the type of game you play for graphics. Alright, now check out the sound.
Oh, minions, stay back! Back! May this ledge hold. The skeleton king?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Blizzard has been working on this game for a while. They gotta have some good sound in here. And the music delivers. The music sounds so good. I absolutely love the soundtrack on here. Just everything from the trailers to the in-game stuff, I just loved it. And what was even better was the voice acting. I didn't have any issues with the voice acting. I thought everything was spot on, and I thought it was very immersive for the environment. I had no issues with the sound. Excellently crafted game, and I really loved it. Now what about the controls? Now I haven't tried to play this with, I don't know, a gamepad or anything like that. I'm sure it's possible. I was just playing with it with a keyboard and mouse. But in typical Diablo fashion, everything is, I don't know, assigned to a hotkey of some kind, and I felt like it played perfectly. I had absolutely no issues with the controls whatsoever. I loved them. I thought they were great. Now, I will be honest, I did not try this out, but apparently there's an auction house in the game. And this is pretty much where you can buy and sell your weapons and all that other stuff and, you know, make money, lose money, a bunch of good things. One thing that you should know, though, is that this is for Diablo veterans. Many people did complain about the auction house, because in Diablo 2, I mean, you played through to get your rewards. And those rewards were new armor, new weapons, all that other stuff, those rare items. Now, I mean, with the auction house, the sad thing is that you're playing through the game on, like, hell difficulty, and if something becomes too hard, you got 3 million gold, just run over to the auction house, buy some new armor, some new weapons, and you're set. So, there's not as much of a reward system on here. And I'm going to put another link down to this because it does a very good job explaining it. But you know, the auction house, I mean, it is nice for what it is, but again, it's just something that will kind of nerf the game, and it could nerf your experience. Now, what about my final verdict on this game? What do I have to say? In the end, it was an excellent game. I'm so glad I bought it, and I'm glad I played through it. Not perfect, but it is excellent. I do really, really like it, and I recommend anybody try it. I do. Even if, I don't know, you don't think you like these games, just, I don't know, try this game for 10 minutes if you can. Now, there are many, many Diablo 2 players that are just going to sit there and just bash the game up and down. But you gotta realize there are really two types of players. There are the veterans and there are the newbies. The veterans are going to complain about everything and praise Diablo 2 and compare everything to Diablo 2. And they probably won't be as addicted to the game. While as the newbies and newcomers like myself will get into the game, will like it, will praise it, we will have a lot of fun with it, But at the end of the game, we won't really be that addicted. By the time I finished the game, I was just like, you know, that game was pretty good, but I don't know, I don't really feel like playing it again right now. Although when I did replay it for this footage, I really enjoyed it. So, you know, it does have a ton of replay value, I will say that. However, with this score, I'm going to say Battle.net had to drop the score for me a little bit, honestly. There were so many errors that, you know, not only I, but other players encountered, and they had it worse, and most of the bugs are kinked out, but it's just this annoying-ass system with always being connected to the internet. I mean, it drove me insane. How is it my fault if my connection is bad one night? If my connection is bad, my single-player game should not lag. If I have a single-player game that I paid $65 for, I shouldn't have to be connected all the time just because of some pirates and DRM. I really shouldn't. Now, there is something good that comes out of this. You gotta realize you don't have to worry about game saves anymore. You don't have to worry about, I don't know, maybe some annoying mods or whatnot, because Diablo 2 is rampant with modding. And pretty much anything that you do in the game, anytime you kill a monster, that is sent to your account in the cloud. So you can access this from anywhere, and I have an authenticator, so I could always authenticate my account, but you can access your games from anywhere. Don't have to worry about saves, don't have to worry about them getting deleted or anything like that. But speaking of mods, that is one thing. For you people that really liked modding the first two games, there is no possible way you can mod this game. Trust me, no mods available, it's not going to happen. Not on Blizzard's watch, definitely not. So, final verdict, I give this game, Diablo 3, an 8.5 out of 10. Now, because I've been praising it so much, you might expect me, I don't know, to give it a higher score. I would give it a 9. But just because of all the Battle.net stuff that I had to deal with, I have to give it an 8.5. I didn't feel like it was good to give it an 8, but I think an 8.5 will suffice. So is this game good? Yes, it's very good. I do recommend playing it, but I mean, I hate being connected all the time. It's just the most annoying thing in the world to me. I just don't want to be connected for a single player game. Oh yeah, and if there's maintenance, you're not going to be playing alone either. Nobody's going to be playing, so have fun with that. So anyways, that is it. That is my review for Diablo 3. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I might see you online. So this is Mr. Mario, signing off.